Dashino taro is a highly nutritious root vegetable that is a staple in the Tobagonian diet. It's also the key ingredient at today's Tobago Blue Food Festival, one of the most unique culinary festivals in the world. And guess what? We're taking you along for the experience. Come on.
Say we ready to board.
Come by me.
Say we ready to party. Okay. Cause we can even sweet like Tobago. The condensed milk in the cocoa. The girl them hot.
Hi, I'm Ryan McCool and you're watching Let's Talk Tobago. Today I'm at Bloody Bay for the Blue Food Festival, an international culinary festival signature to Tobago. It's been around since the late 1990s and of course it's been developing since then. It only, took a little hiatus. Well, not really hiatus, but they had to change the format during the COVID pandemic. But now, in 2022, it's returned to its full glory and splendor. So let's go check out the booths before, we got to see what we got to eat today. It's one of my most favorite festivals in the world. Let's go.
Every day party on the beach.
We reach. Tell them we reach. Now look how the thing now leaves.
Cause we can even sweet like Tobago. The condensed milk in the cocoa.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to welcome you to the nicest part of the island. Welcome to Bloody Bay. All of you who are here, you are our most special guests today. And we thank you for coming to Bloody Bay. We thank God for excellent weather. This is perhaps the first Blue Food where we have hot sun and no rain. And we thank God for that. And we just want you to enjoy, have fun, support all of the booths. Most of those who are selling things to eat and craft are residents from this district, from this area. Tobago is the place to be right now as Tobago progresses unlike any other place in the country. Thank you, enjoy the day, have fun everybody.
So there's a lot of craft, there's a petting zoo, but first of all, we have to stop by the food court and we're at booth number 5, where we're talking with one of the lovely chefs here at the Blue Food Festival, Miss Denise Winchester. And tell us what you had on the menu today.
We have tattoo, agouti, iguana, crab, chicken, pork, fish, mat, manikou, rabbit.
And of course, dasheen. You have some dasheen and provision.
So yes, we have dasheen provision, dasheen bus up shot, dasheen pie.
So, all right, so tell me, how long have you been part of the Blue Food Festival?
2007.
How you find it to be growing and, the whole experience altogether?
Well, it grew some years and then it dropped some years. And I'm also a committee member.
Well, that's even better, also a committee member. So, I mean, we had a little challenge for the last 2 years, which was the COVID period. And of course, there was some innovative ways to still get the idea of Blue Food and keeping it alive. Now we're back to it in the full glory and splendor. I mean, the place is packed. It's 2020. How do you feel about that?
Well, from COVID to now, I mean, COVID was really a challenge. No Blue Food, and we had the online system, and then we came back in the village, which I love that village thing very much. This tent space here, too small for me because of the variety that I cooked, so I prefer in the village where I spread out more.
So if people want, they could come and get all this nice food that you have here outside of the Blue Food Festival?
No, what I have outside of the Blue Food Festival is dasheen pepper sauce, dasheen ancha, dasheen chow chow, dasheen ice cream, dasheen koma.
So a lot of uses for dasheen. There's plenty of uses for dasheen, I'm realizing here.
I have a variety mart in Palatave, and those things are sold in my variety mart.
So just tell us which part people can come and check that out and get all these wonderful delectables.
It's on the main road in Palatave, next to the basketball court and the bus shed.
And there you have it. That was Miss Denise Winchester. I want to thank you so very much. Of course, we'll be tasting some of that nice food as well, So we'll be coming back. And we're here at another food booth number 10 in a matter of fact, run by Miss Casilda Charles, I pronounce it. She's another chef here at the Blue Food Festival. And how have you been? How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
So what do you have on the menu here for us today?
I have turtle, gutty, rabbit, fish, provision, dumpling.
Tell us, how long have you been with the Blue Food Festival?
From birth, from the first year.
So how was it from the whole Lance for me moving into the Bloody Bay and the other things like that? How has the transitions been over the years from your perspective?
Well, it was good because we couldn't do anything after they bring it down here, so we all cooperated together and always having a good time.
Where can we find you outside of Bloody Bay here today? Where can we come and get some food from you?
I live at Lance for me. I'm the first house when they reach to welcome to Lance for me sign. On the right, at Castle Charles home. So, and I always have like cakes. It's already made to order because I'm always I'm baking all through the year because cakes go all over the world. I get orders to go all over the world. England, Canada, America, and all these places because Christmas coming up, I had to get ready to start putting out cakes.
For Christmas. Oh my God. So there you have it, folks. One of the foundation members of the Blue Food Festival. Miss Charles, I want to thank you so much. And of course, we'll be coming to check you in Lansome afterwards, all right? All right, take care. So walking around here, there's all sorts of interesting stuff and interesting people. Right next to me, I have Shannon and Sheila, and they're from San Andreas.
San Andres, the archipelago of San Andres, Providence, and St. Catalina.
Well, I hope you got that. And just tell us why you all are here on the island, first of all.
Because we made a documentary about the culture of Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. So we are in the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, and we want to know who we are, but to also the San Andres and Providence people know that we are very similar with our brothers from the Caribbean. Yeah. Yes.
Now I see that Sheila is smiling because she's unaccustomed being the interviewee. Usually she's the interviewer. So Sheila, how has it been? How has it been in Tobago so far, and even the Blue Food Festival?
Well, I want to tell you something. When I get here to Tobago, I feel like I was in my home because for me, this is similar like my island from Providence. So I'm here to enjoy this nice festival. I see you have all kind of things. This sorrel juice, what we have home also, and different type of food. So I would like to taste all of them. I will try to carry all of them home with me. Alright, so we had another pit stop, booth number 11, and we're here with Miss Grace Blake, and she's doing a whole lot of wonderful drinks, and oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. Miss Blake, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
So tell us, what do we have here? I'm seeing wines, I'm seeing punches, I'm seeing punch creme. What do we have?
We have wine, we have punch creme, we have dasheen fruit cake, we have dasheen polari, and dasheen punch.
Well, you obviously are expert in this dasheen thing. How long have you been using dasheen to make some of these products?
Well, about 30 years now.
30 years?
Yes. Like I always in food.
Since the inception?
Yeah. I'm living Golden Lane, so I had to sell my wine at home.
Right.
See if you trace Golden Lane.
So how can people contact you?
Well, my number is 372-6445. It's on the bottle.
Yeah, it's on the white bottle?
Yeah, on the wine bottle.
It's on the wine bottle. So if you want to get this beautiful, oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. If you want to get this beautiful wines and punches and punch creme, please contact Miss Grace Blake. Give them those numbers again.
372-6445.
And we'll be stopping back for some of those drinks before we head out. Yeah?
Come and sample anyone. Come and sample.
You hear that? We're sampling today. Marlon, we're going to sample after we finish shooting, yeah? All right, Miss Gracie, take care, all right? on our food run, we've found a true gem in the Blue Food Festival, Miss Izan Chance, the Blue Food Queen herself. How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm good.
And now for those folks who don't know Miss Chance, she's actually won the most titles, the most Blue Food titles when coming to the cooking competition, and she's been with the Blue Food since inception, right?
Yes, since 2004.
All right. Tell me, what has the experience been like? I mean, going up over the years to now 2022.
It has been good. You have learned a lot of things, improved on a lot of stuff. You know, it's been really, really good and improving every year.
Okay. And also, folks, Miss Chance has compiled all the wonderful recipes in a wonderful recipe book. Just tell us about that a bit.
Yes, my recipe book was launched in 2013, Taste of Tobago Blue Food Recipe Cookbook. I've sold over 2,000 copies so far, you know, and it's really, really going good.
Can people get the Calypso Girl experience outside of the Blue Food Festival?
Well, I normally do Tobago Day. This is my fourth year doing Tobago Day in Brooklyn, you know, and I went to Toronto as well. So anyway, I'm just
all over. You're international. As the Blue Food Queen, I must ask, what's your favorite thing about the Blue Food Festival?
the competition, of course. I love competing. I love going outside the box, you know, thinking of different items or different dishes to come up with. This year I created a drink and I presented in a nice crafted barrel, which I'm going to show you the barrel. It's a surprise, I call it a dashing surprise. It's contained of dashing wine, peach pine coal and white rum, with a hint of, you know, the special ingredients.
See, with a hint of that, secrets in that barrel, a lot of secrets in that barrel. A lot of the persons who started it initially are still here with the Blue Food.
Yes, yes. So we have number 5, which is Denise Winchester. Number 4, Susan Hernandez. Number 10 is Casilla Charles. They have been stalwarts in the Blue Food Festival from inception.
Thanks so very much for accommodating us. We're coming to sample what's in that barrel very soon, right? So you take care.
Thank you so much. Bye. Enjoy, everybody.
I look in my grandmother's wagonette, some old books tattered and wet. I took time to scrutinize, and much to my great surprise, 2 red books in front of my face. The reason why I'm always first place. The first and second primer made me a fluent reader. Everybody must learn to read, learn to read, learn to read is the only way to succeed. Learn to read, learn to read. Young men liming out in the streets. Learn to read, learn to read. At every corner you meet. Learn to read, learn to read. My grandmother's legacy. Learn to read, learn to read. Eradicate illiteracy. Learn to read, learn to read.
Hi, my name is Izan Williams Chance, the owner of Calypso Girl Experience, and you're watching Let's Talk Tobago.
Welcome to paradise. You will feel so nice in Tobago. This party island, the vibes it strong like white rum, boy. Party sweet on the road. From your reach you go know. It's back on a non-stop. This song go leave we and come back, boy. Party sweet on the road. From your reach you go know. Come join the Bonyan band.
We're at the tent with the Wildlife Association of Tobago, and there's all sort of big things here, big things that most people wouldn't like to see. As you can see, wow. And holding that lovely, what is it, a python?
It's a boa constrictor. A boa constrictor, yeah.
And holding the boa constrictor, we have Mr. Roy Corbin, one of the wildlife, what do you call that? Wildlife?
Yeah, I'm a member of the association, and I am also an owner of a wildlife park. Yeah.
How did you get involved and get interested in the snakes and the wildlife and different stuff like that?
Well, I grew up on a farm, seen animals all my life, and I've always was interested in trying to save damaged animals. So I grew with that passion, and as I got older, I decided, look, I'm going to do something entirely different with my life. I'm going to try to save our local animals. Yeah.
So just tell us a bit about some of the wildlife that we have in Tobago, some of the species, and some of the species you all have here on display today.
Okay, so we have this guy that you have in my hand here. It's a boa constrictor, and it's one of our apex predator on the island right now. So these animals are very important, and we are trying to encourage people not to kill them. If you have a problem at your place with them, call Corbin, and we will come and do what we do best. So on shore we have a lot of local animals. We have like the iguanas, we have sally painters, we have armadillos, we have possums, we have parrots, 2 types of parrots, we have agoutis, and as you walk around you see a whole lot more of different exotic animals that are here on the compound.
I see a lot of people gathering around, especially the kids and parents.
Yeah, well, you know, wildlife always draw a lot of people towards it. So yeah, the kids especially.
Are they actually touching them and
well, yes, they are. Even the adults, a lot of the adults are coming and mingling with the animals. Yeah.
And what do you say to persons who usually have the misconception or misunderstanding or a lack of information on the animals and tend to harbor a fear? What do you say to them to try to sort of coax them to treat them more gently, or even have a little respect for them, or understand the value to the ecosystem, to the cycle altogether?
Well, what I always tell people, if you have a problem with any animal, come to Corbin and we will help you get rid of that phobia. So the animals would be a lot safer on the island.
So how exactly will you get rid of that phobia? Let's say, for instance, I have a fear of this little fella right here. What exactly would you advise, or what would you do?
Well, with my understanding of the animal and my training, I would help you slowly get rid of your phobia. So you need to come.
That's
I'm going to give it away here today. You need to come to me. I'm like a doctor, so you need to come to me and get your medicine.
Now, if you notice, he's not giving me the details, so it's probably something I'm going to run away from. The last time I was at Blue Food Festival, it wasn't too good with the snakes. But Mr. Corbin, I really want to applaud you with everything that you're doing here. And tell me, how important you think it is to have this wildlife on display, this information, and even raising awareness of the Wildlife Association of Tobago here at the Blue Food today?
Well, it's very important for the ecosystem. Why? Most of the locals love to eat the animals. So with our understanding of how important it is, we share that with the local folks, and hoping that the next generation will do better than this one is doing.
In terms of preservation?
Yes, in terms of preservation, yeah.
Is there any, let me say, format or methodology, or even any way that they could probably start rearing them to help? Because as you said, there's a lot of wildlife. We tend to eat some of the wildlife here in Tobago. So is there a way that we could have some sort of sustainable balance, whether we rear them more, put them in more controlled environments? I mean, we don't want to take them out of the wild to stem the natural cycle of things, the balance. But is there anything that we could do to sort of increase the sustainability?
Well, we have started doing it on our place. We have started an active breeding and release program where we breed the local animals and we introduce back all the babies into the wild. But what we do, we try not to encourage people to bring healthy animals to us. So if we get a damaged animal that cannot go back to the wild, that one we would have in captivity, and we get them breeding. So the babies from those guys go back to the forest. Yeah, and we try to encourage other wildlife farmers, instead of just having the animals there as a pet, try to get it breeding so the young ones can be introduced into the forest.
So how could they contact Corbin's Wildlife?
Okay, so my number 327-4182. I am on WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. Yeah.
So there you have it. You could call them to get rid of any unwanted critters, or even probably a spouse. Okay. We're still here at the Wildlife Association booth, and of course we have one of our games wardens in Tobago, making sure that, it's
important. The animals are safe, the animals are not stressed, and they have the right cage classification and all these things, just to make sure the animals are safe.
And of course, you just want to tell us your name. This is Miss Anushka Ramzan, folks, all together. So tell us, What are some of your duties? What do you have to actively do throughout the year?
Well, we are responsible for the protection of the Conservation of Wildlife Act, so that's our base mandate. We are responsible for doing patrols throughout the island, both vehicular and foot patrols, to make sure persons are in accordance with the law and they are not breaking laws when season is closed. So right now, presently, the season is open, so persons are allowed to purchase, allowed to hunt. However, even though they are allowed to hunt, they have to purchase a permit. So we during this time, we still do routine patrols to make sure persons who are hunting are in possession of their licenses and stuff like that.
So there's a lot of activities here as well outside of the food and the dashing at the Blue Food Festival. Right now we're at one of the craft booths. We're here at Hayes Looks with Miss Josephine
Hayford.
All right, Josephine Hayford. Tell me, is this your first time at the Blue Food or have you been here before?
No, this is my first time. I came all the way from Ghana just for this show.
You came all the way from Ghana?
Yes, just for this show.
And you're originally from Ghana as well?
Yes, I'm from Ghana.
Oh, well, welcome. This is definitely a sister. Yes. A sister from Ghana as well, yeah? So how are you enjoying the experience thus far?
It's lovely. I'm really enjoying it. Since morning, I've seen people and I'm really enjoying the environment, how things are going. I must say, they've done so well.
I'm now getting a bit of the Ghanaian accent coming out. Just a bit of it. So we're looking around at the craft here, basically, and to tell you the truth, I'm seeing a lot of similarities in some of the culture. Well, basically, this is where we would get it from as well, too. And I'm watching all the nice colors and crafts and different. Tell us about the different stuff that you have here.
Well, we have something like the fans. These are all handmade fans. They are fabric with leather. We have these tops. We have these dresses. We have the skirts like what I have on. And we have the necklaces. I have my handbands here. I have all these bags and I have the hat. I have waist beads as well. Yeah. Yes, and anklets.
Yeah. So how did you know or hear or get involved with the Blue Food Festival?
Well, I've been coming for emancipation, so I keep asking and looking for what's new. So I decided to come this time.
And how long will you be in Tobago?
Well, I'm going to stay till Carnival. Yes.
Carnival this year or next year?
Carnival this year.
Oh, you hear that? So, Ms. Hayford, we want to just thank you so much. And of course, if persons want to get in contact with you, how can they get in contact?
We're on 59 Anna Street in Woodbrook, Trinidad.
Yeah. Any contact numbers they could get on to you?
760-9992.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks, all the way from Ghana.
From San Andres Island. I'm the host of Tele Islas and you are watching Let's Start Tobago.
This is paradise where the vibe's so nice. Say whoa, say whoa. Welcome to paradise. You will feel so nice in Tobago.
And I'm here with a very lovely young lady on the side of me. Just tell us your name.
I'm Giselle Garcia.
And where you from, Giselle?
Mason Hall.
You see how she look beautiful? All right, so Giselle, 2022, we back outside again, the Blue Food Festival. How you been enjoying it?
So far, so good. It's good to be back outside, yeah?
I see you dancing and grooving.
You had to enjoy yourself. I mean, we inside for so long. It's time to come back outside. It's having fun so far.
All right, wonderful. So I see you and your crew here today. Who and you came down?
My best friend, this is Gail. Smart.
What did you say?
Her name is Gail Smart, my best friend.
Oh, okay. For a minute there, it sounded so. Anyway, let's not go down that. So, Gail, you all right? You enjoying the Blue Food as well?
Of course. Yes.
And what's your favorite thing about the day so far?
The music. Yeah? Yes.
Well, I definitely see you all enjoying that. You know there's a lot more music to come. So I just want to urge you all to enjoy. Wait, before we go, if there's people out there who haven't been to the Blue Food Festival, what would you tell them?
They should definitely come. Blue Food is it. Thing for the back. Bring your fellas and come.
Thing for the back, she said. Bring your fellas and come.
Let me go. Music in my head all night. Tempo feeling nice and right. Tonight's the night for romancing. Across the floor she was dancing. So I make a move to get in the mood. Cause tonight's the night and the feeling is alright. Don't know what to do, how to make that move. I said, hey, what you say? I feel it, I can sing.
to groove with G in the party. Yeah, I got it. To grind up those on 340s. Tell me I got it. To tell she baby you're sexy. Yeah, I got it. To tell she up. Drama makes me.
As I've been mentioning all day, there's a lot of interesting stuff and interesting people to meet here in Bloody Bay at the Blue Food Festival. And with me, we have Mr. Christoph Roberts, one of the main heads, one of the brains behind the Mud and Mud Festival. Mud is life. What we say? Mud is life. That is right. And definitely, you can look out for them in the October Carnival coming up this year. So just tell us a bit about that collaboration and what to expect.
Well, Mud is Life is a Juve experience, Mud experience, that is happening on the 29th of October Carnival in Tobago at Crown Point.
Let me just add in, one of the greatest mud experience you'll ever have.
Yes, it's the most beautifulest.
The most beautiful, give them that one.
Most beautifulest.
The most beautifulest, you heard it first. All right, so you're here in the Blue Food Festival. What brought you up today?
Well, I came to see the local dishes that Tobago has to offer. I bought this wine from Blakey's.
Show them the wine.
Dandy Root.
Yeah? Blake's Dandy Root wine. I had somebody that says thing for the back.
That's why I bought it.
All right, so tell us how persons can get in contact with Mud and Mud for the October Carnival. Give them the link.
All right, so for any information and purchase of packages or tickets, you can go to www.mudislifeexperience.com, right? Or follow Mud is Life Tobago handles on Facebook or Instagram. Also, you can follow Great Fete Weekend on Instagram or Facebook, because that's a major collaborator of the Mud is Life Festival.
And there you have it, Mud and Mud, one of Tobago's greatest gems, graphite diamonds. We come from the earth and we all shall return, right? So we all mud people.
Yes, we come from the mud.
Yeah, we come from the mud is life. Alright folks, and we're well into the evening. The sun is about to go down. We're still in Bloody Bay. The Blue Food Festival is off the chain, and we're here with the boss, the CEO of the Tobago Festivals Commission, in charge of putting on the Blue Food Festival, Mr. John Arnold. How are you doing today?
Boy, I really am excited. I'm excited for several reasons. One, coming back after COVID and the pandemic, you kind of wonder how the thing will work, how people will react. But there's a nice turnout, and we experimented this year, trying to go back to the old version, putting the stage down there, so you get the amphitheater, and then all the food booths, a place for the senior citizens, the farmers market, the petting zoo, and the VIP area across it. So all in all, I think the layout is pretty good, and God was good today to us. No rain, and yeah, good turnout, nice food, and actually in the innovative section with the food competition, there were a lot of nice offerings, and I think we're looking good for next year. As a matter of fact, what I really want to talk about is the fact that we have public-community partnership, right? The fact that THA and the communities can work together, and this model is one that we can't take it light. We have to look at how they learn from us and we learn from them. So I'm looking forward to the future.
I want to ask you, what was your best thing? What was your highlight of the day so far?
Tattoo. Yeah, the lady who cooked the tattoo was coming off the shell easily. And I like that. And the sauce. Yeah, the sauce. Yeah, kind of. So I like that. The dasheen, I had that with dasheen, dumpling, plantain. And that was it for me for today. Yeah, I love that.
Of course, from all of us, we want to commend you and the team for a wonderful job. We're back outside for 2022. We've been missing it for 2 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years, no matter of fact. 3 too much. 3 years too much. So we want to thank you again. And we're gonna go stateside and see what else they have.
Stop from call mine and give me the You're just trying to bring me down, and I won't play those games. Who Jah bless them? Give thanks for life. Give thanks for the giving of life and everybody who been here to support the Blue Food, you see. Yeah, hear me?
Positivity would rain all over me. Better than yesterday. If you know this song, can you help me sing it out tonight? Say, I'm wiser, stronger, better than I've ever been before. A flower recipe, a bet to me, love in the skin that I'm in. Oh, some would hate you, Jah would make you listen to the voice within. I'm so filled with the pride, it's the feeling inside. I'm loving my black skin.
It's been a wonderful day. Right now, the artists are taking the stage and just wowing the crowd. We have Adana on stage right now, but the curtains are going down. We're tired, the crew is tired, I'm tired. It's been a lovely day. We've had stuff to drink, stuff to eat. Oh my gosh, the food was absolutely fantastic. So make sure if you didn't come this year, you're going to be here for 2023. So from all of us at the Department of Information under the Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, this has been Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Ryan McCool, and it's definitely been a pleasure taking you along with us today. So you know what? We're going to leave you with a montage and performances that are closing off the evening. So from all of us, from the Department of Information, much love.
Say that sugar, me lover. Blue Food, what did the pilot say? He forget some paperwork, so he how me go love, how me go love.
Sweet Tobago. This party island device is strong like white rum, boy. Party sweet on the road. From your reach, you go know it's
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It is 7 a.m. and it's Tuesday, the 25th of October 2022. It's the week of Tobago Carnival, October 2022. The things start. As we continue to give God thanks for life, I am Julian Ski.
And I am Maria Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago, good morning Trinidad, those of you in the Caribbean and those of you viewing us on the live. Good morning, Julian Skeet. It is Tuesday, the day after the holiday. How have you been?
The day after the holiday, and it has indeed been a long and enjoyable weekend, Ria. A long and enjoyable weekend. And you know, we continue to give thanks, most definitely, for each and every one of you out there. Ria, there's been so much happening in this space. It's the combination of the festivities for the Tobago Carnival that's taking place in and around. And if you may not have participated prior to this weekend, many have indicated to me that they certainly got the jump start going, Ria, this weekend in terms of the activities and the festivities. There have been boat rides that have been happening here within the Tobago space. I haven't been on any just yet, but I've been in the Turtle Beach area to see the movements on and off, and I'm certainly convinced, as I was there to Lime for a bit and so and had to make some adjustments. I realized, hey, it's important to get on a boat ride, to have that experience for the season, because viewers, I want to be able to share that with you, those of you here locally, those in the region and those abroad. I want to be able to share those experiences with you. Not so, Ria?
Definitely for you, Julian. But whatever you're doing, just be safe. You know, we saw, over the weekend, a lot of persons taking to the beach, taking to some form of relaxation at the beaches, and I'm saying, just be safe out there. Carnival time usually is a time when when strange occurrences take place. We do not want to be reporting any loss of life or near-death experiences for any of our visitors or villagers or persons here, locals in Tobago. So we're just saying here, whatever you do, do it safely.
Yes, and this morning as well, I also want to give kudos and shout outs. Yesterday, I would have had the opportunity to be a part of the opening of the Tobago Festival. And if anybody knows Julian Skeet, you know that I am a lover of soca music far and wide. No matter where I am, I have a good time when it comes to soca music. And Keste Band did not disappoint at all. And the celebration of Lord Nelson for his contribution, where when you see this man at 91 and the reminder is given that he is 91 and on stage still having a time, you say to yourself, wow, amazing. Even if I'm not on stage, Lord, just keep me energized at 91.
I know there's some things you want to still be able. What are some of those things that you want to still be able to do at 91?
I think I just want to be able to still enjoy life, because you feel naturally like you've worked so hard over the years to be able to build yourself and to be able to get to a point of comfort, and then therefore you want to be able to still enjoy life in a particular way after all that hard work. And that's why I told somebody, just in case, let me start to enjoy it all now. That's my simple philosophy. Just, people have this mindset, I work till I'm 60 plus and then I start to enjoy life in my retirement. No, those days have since changed, because you're finding now that people getting close to retirement and they know more. Some people not even making it to retirement. So the least I could do is try along the way, as we work hard and so to enjoy life. And certainly even in the mix of Carnival, I got to shout out Assemblyman Tate. And this ain't anything political at all. It's good food. Good drinks. It was the celebration of the harvest in Patience Hill. And I also took the opportunity this weekend, to check out the harvest happenings. I would hate not to do this for our viewers to know all the things happening out there. Most definitely, and I want to shout out Assemblyman Nigel Tate and the entire family, man. Certainly a house to celebrate at, Rhea. Certainly a house to celebrate at. Next time, Rhea, I'll call you.
That's right. And we make it together.
I don't know if Rhea will leave to come down for food and
well,
drink, but I will call you.
It depends if it's by Tate, yes.
So we want to say indeed, and what it therefore send the message and the signal to me with is that things are definitely returning to that level of comfort to our citizenry, because that's it, even in and around, whether it was at in terms of the boat rides that have started, I almost said Heritage Festival, the harvest festivals being continuing to be celebrated, or even at the Tobago Festival and so on, you continue to hear the indications from persons that it feels so good to be outside. It feels so good to be outside.
Be outside,
that's it. Having been under the challenges of being restricted somewhat within the last 2 years.
Yes.
But as you indicated, we try our very best to do so as safely as possible.
Most definitely. So Julian, it's time for us to head on over into news in 90 seconds with Candice.
Thank you, Julian and Rhea. I am Candice Jackson, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Tuesday, 25th October 2022. Nicole Thomas walked away with the crown for the inaugural Calypso Monarch for Tobago Carnival. Tuco hosted the Calypso Monarch at the Shore Park Cultural Complex on Saturday. Thomas received a cash prize of $100,000 for her Calypso titled Carnival is We. The song depicted the origins of Carnival and its significance. Sheldon Reed placed second in the competition with his rendition of Fit for a Crown. He walked away with a cash prize of $60,000. The third place went to the crowd favorite, Giselle Fraser Washington, with her Calypso, Plenty Plenty Old Talk. She was awarded $45,000. In some more Calypso news, Gave Sande won the inaugural Cornucopia Calypso competition. Cornucopia was hosted by Titi Youths Will Rise NGO in Buku on Friday. Gave Sande placed first out of 10 contestants with her song A Call to Duty. The second place prize went to Caston Cupid with his song The Saga of Truth. Meanwhile, Michella Williams won third place with her contribution of Warriors. Cornucopia was also hosted a mass competition for Kings, Queens, and Junior Kings and Queens. And nationally, 20% of the population in Trinidad were in the dark for up to an hour on Diwali. TNTech confirmed that its plant experienced some problems that led to a massive power outage in various locations from Trincity all the way down to Siparia. According to a press release, the outage occurred at approximately 7:40 a.m. when the machines on one of the Commission's independent power producers encountered a problem and caused the system to crash. However, power was restored within an hour and the electricity supply remained stable throughout the day. And that was the news in 90 seconds. It is back to you, Julian and Ria.
Thank you so much, Candice.
Thank you so much there, Candice. And you know, Ria, this morning at all, I can't forget, it's one of those few days in the lineup. You know, you have to give kudos where kudos are due. I had the cause this weekend as well to also be utilizing Cal, because even with all those activities in the long weekend in Tobago, I was also in Trinidad for part of it.
Yes, we know that.
And I want to take the opportunity to extend some commendations to Cal, particularly Ria. I see that there is the new trend. I always have this philosophy, and my young people will tell you, to be on time is to be before time.
Right.
And it's something we've practiced since as early as our Rotaract days and so on. And I see a situation arising where there appears to be an extra effort on the part of Cal. If you look sharp, in some instances, by the scheduled departure time, whether it be from Trinidad or from Tobago, the flight might already be airborne, because, you know, certainly your check-in time is up to 1 hour in advance, and then they start to gives consideration to standbys and so on. So I want to say kudos to Carl, man, running on time, at least as I have seen over the course of the weekend. And, you know, where praise is due, you give those praises. And I want to mention, don't forget, we need extra flights, not just for Carnival, but beyond the Carnival period as well.
Definitely, definitely. And in some instances, when returning from Trinidad back to Tobago, they are allowing passengers to go through the international terminal. And in some cases, persons are not aware of the items that are in their hand luggage or in their personal pieces that need to be checked in as a result of them passing through the international departure lounge. So I'm saying here, Cal needs to do a little bit better with that, because a lot of persons would have had to leave items at the security check-in, unfortunately, because they were not able, maybe due to time, to check these items in, but because they did not realize or did not know that they had to go through the international terminal and not the domestic terminal. So just be mindful of these things.
Certain my dad that traveled recently as well will join in with those sentiments. He wasn't too pleased at all.
No, and it's not fair. It's not fair to passengers.
He spoke continuously about items that he had to leave behind. So I can't believe this.
Yeah.
So you know, it's
and I fell prey to that a few weeks ago, and I wasn't really happy about it. And all I'm saying is, they need to make it. They need to inform passengers. I was not aware of it, and I left it alone. But when I came back to Tobago, I did make several calls. I did ask questions, only to realize that passengers are not being informed. And when I spoke to the airport security at the international terminal, she said to me, "But it's a month now we're doing it, so it's a month now." And I kept saying, "But it's a month now we're doing it." So not good enough. Absolutely not good enough.
All right, so that's something that definitely needs to be worked on. And I see that we also have some additional sailings on board. So we'll continue to monitor the situation both at Cal and the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Ria, who do we have on the rundown this morning? Viewers, I could not help, but as I looked into this camera and looked on the screen before me, and I saw Ria Angle, is a month now we're doing it. So do you notice that the pink has gotten brighter as we move through the October month? But let's get into the rundown.
Yeah, I tried it again over the weekend. I tried it again, and I got more pink. You see, I tried it again, I got more pink, and I actually got more of the highlights throughout the year, so I did. But I'm saying here, I want to thank God this morning, and I'm thankful for my husband Oswald, who took up the challenge and assisted. In fact, he joined me with the pink, but I'll leave the pink where the pink is. I'll leave it there for you to notice.
We look forward to the photographs, viewers. Ria and Oswald George. All right. Who do we have starting us off this morning in the rundown, Ria?
Okay, so kicking us up this morning, we're chatting with John Arnold, and John Arnold is the CEO of the Tobago Festivals Commission, and our focus this morning is on the Blue Food Festival. He's going to give us the post-mortem and as well upcoming Tobago festivals. So stay tuned because there are a lot of things happening over the next few days, weeks, and months in Tobago.
All right, and this morning we'll also be chatting with Ashley Benjamin, educational psychologist, and this morning we're speaking about Blooming Minds Educational Institute.
And then to wrap things up with us this morning, we're going to be chatting with Liana Alexander, who's a board member of the Down Syndrome Family Network, and she's going to tell us more about Down Syndrome Awareness Month and their buddy walk that's coming up. So we've got a lot to look forward to on the program this morning.
Yes, and as usual, viewers, we head on into our birthday celebrations this morning. Birthday celebrations.
We've got birthdays and anniversaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we start with the man himself, Jason Caesar. All right, we want to wish you a happy birthday, Jason Caesar, and God's continued blessings.
And my good friend out there, Carla Bish, celebrating. Carla, happy birthday going out to you this morning, and love from the Tobago Updates family.
Birthday shout outs, Carla.
And this is my good friend here, Charlene Fernandez, who celebrated her birthday over the weekend. Charlene, happy birthday going out to you, and lots of love from the Tobago Updates family. And this is our good friend out there in the media in Trinidad. This is Chris J, or Christopher J. Joseph. This is Chris J. You know the name from 98.1. So Chris, love going out to you this morning. Trust that you had a great one. And this is my good friend here, Rosalind. This is her husband, Christopher. She and her husband celebrating their first anniversary on the 24th, which was, yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, happy belated anniversary going out to you this morning, Auntie Rosalind and Christopher Patrick.
Yes, and we also have on screen with us another colleague in the media,
yes,
Dale and Wendy Francis. So this morning we want to send indeed wedding anniversary greetings going out to Dill and Wendy
Pastor
Francis.
Dill, if you please.
Pastor Dill and Wendy Francis. We trust that you all have an enjoyable celebration. And these greetings are also coming from Carol Fraser Davidson.
Yes.
And she's saying happy 25th wedding anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Dill Francis. So certainly celebrating you all today. We trust that you have an enjoyable celebration. All right, and we got one more birthday in the lineup this morning that should be coming up there as we celebrate and send a birthday shout out to Anne-Marie Johnson. This birthday shout out is going out to Anne-Marie Johnson this morning. We want to wish you a happy birthday, Anne-Marie Johnson, coming from the entire Tobago Updates family. Wishing you a happy birthday, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, definitely. Have a great one. Right, so
yes, Rhea, how's the preparation, just in case they say that we've left out groupings? How's the preparation for camp coming for the carnival period?
Preparations for camp coming along really nicely. I have to say that a lot of parents have been opting to send their children out, and some persons have decided to not go by the term camp but retreat. Some camping, nice. Some retreating, but whatever it is really a time for us to get together once again and deal with different issues, different topics. So we're certainly looking forward to it. In some cases it starts from Thursday, in some cases from Friday, for parents who opt not to send the children out to school on Fridays. We're not sure what's happening on Friday, that Carnival Friday, because it's some teachers come, yes. Some teachers don't. There's never really a solid schedule of work on the Carnival Fridays.
Yes, it's that kind of day, and I definitely want to take the opportunity to shout out our viewers and listeners that continue to support the Tobago Updates morning show, because whether I was at the harvest, whether I was at the celebrations happening for the boat rides for Carnival, whether I got in the mix for activities in travel, constantly you'd hear a person saying, I want to wish you all the best, commendations indeed. So this morning I want to take the opportunity to express our thanks and appreciation. And then you hear the occasional person saying to me as well in the mix, don't forget to tell Rhea hello for me too. Yes.
Hello.
I'm sending all your greetings and love to Rhea as well. And we want to thank you so much for the continued love and support, and for choosing each and every day the Tobago Updates morning show. Thank you to each of you joining us via TV, those joining us via radio, and those of you online with us. This is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
You see that guy? That guy.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard, I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Welcome to Lamarche Parfait Day Spa and Wellness Center, your premier spa experience located at Bonaccord, Tobago. Visit us today for facials, cellulite treatments, body contours, body treatments, pedicures, manicures, and much more. We have gift cards for all occasions and corporate events. Connect with us on Facebook at Lamarche Parfait Day Spa or call us 273-7772.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers. It is 7:21 a.m. and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. In this segment, viewers, we are chatting with John Arnold, CEO of the Tobago Festivals Commission, and we're speaking just a review in terms of the Blue Food Festival, and then going on to chat a little bit about some of the upcoming Tobago festivals happening here within our Tobago space. Morning to you, John Arnold.
Morning to you, morning to all the viewers, morning to TNT.
All right.
Morning to the whole world.
I am loving this maroon and black combination this morning.
Well, yeah.
All right. Morning to you. As we look at the happenings, and we want to start by speaking to the Blue Food Festival that would have taken place. We know we had a conversation with you going into it. Now that we are out of, let's start by just chatting a bit in terms of the level of support with the return of this full Blue Food Festival.
Well, I think people evidently decided that we're outside again. There's no doubt about that. And I think we were blessed with good weather. And I think also, I keep making this point about the PCP, which is the public community partnership. I think the evidence is there. The THA in collaboration with the communities working on these kinds of partnership in terms of collaborating for festivals. So we really, I think this year in terms of what they projected, the Blue Food participants, and what they offered, I enjoyed the food a lot. I'm sure you did too. And also in context of the package we gave for entertainment. And a really great day. I mean, we tried the two sides of the road. And as you saw, the farmers market was well attended. The petting zoo as
Yes,
we call
yes.
it, was in full force. And then we had over 25 vendors, and then we had the entertainment. And then the layout, we used the amphitheater approach, looking down, right? So I thought overall, I gave it a pretty, on the 10 scale, I gave it maybe 8.9. Yeah.
So what was the general feedback? And we also want to look at the perspectives in terms of feedback to date with regards to those villagers, of course, to whom, there is some sense of ownership, most definitely, and the way in which we had Mr. Chance on speaking to the Blue Food Festival. And it's always interesting, not just speaking to it from the standpoint of an event or a festival, but something that is dear and near to the hearts of those villagers. What was the level of involvement coming from those villagers out of the north side, Tobago?
That's an excellent question, and I want to again go back to my PCP, which I was just talking about. That the planning committee is always made up not only of people from the commission, or even going back to the days when I was in tourism, not only the members of the actual who are working in the division, but also made up of villagers, right, who are actually part of that. And historically, what I love about it is the fact that even when we used to go to interviews, we used to have the villagers be part of those interviews. They learn about budgeting. For example, they learn how and why we budget in different areas and how we look at apportioning the money and so on. And we also learn from them, right, in terms of some of their ideas for how we should host the festival. So there's great involvement, and the committee is always made up of people from Lansbury, Bloody Bay, and Palatine. Always.
And looking at the third aspect in terms of stakeholders, patrons coming right here from within the Tobago space, those who came across from Trinidad, the region and the world at large. What has been the general feel from as early as the transportation network, the parking, the shuttles, that I saw some of which taking place privately in terms of arrangements and so on, and patrons' opportunity to really kind of enjoy what the festival had to offer?
Well, I think, you are a Facebook guy too, right? And I'm sure you saw the kind of commendation that the shuttle service drivers got. In some cases, it was very personal, meaning that they really, really enjoyed the conversations of the people who were shuttling them in. And I think there was an ease of doing business on the day. And I think we had really good and rave reviews on that aspect, and that augurs well. I mean, I left about maybe 6:30, and I was able to get out easily, and I think the shutter thing really worked. The other aspect, you made a point about private. Yes, people did arrange their own private transport and gave a package from Scarborough there and told you when it's going to go. But what hit me was the presence of foreign media, right? I did interviews with one blogger, and then we did an interview with, I can't remember the name of the TV, out of Colombia, St. Andreas. And that I thought spoke volumes, that these people were finding themselves at a culinary festival right here in Tobago. And that, of course, would redound to really greater awareness and visibility of the festival in Latin America, for one, and certainly the globe.
It takes me right into my next question. Would you say that we are seeing the kind of growth that we anticipated for the Blue Food Festival? I know this is something you've been involved in over the years, and festivals in particular within the Tobago space. Would you say we've seen the kind of growth that we would have anticipated?
Yes, I would be the first to tell you that from 24 years ago, this started in Lance for me as a kind of semi-jazz food festival that took place on the field up there, then it took place on the road. And in those days, you probably had maybe 150, 200 persons, right? Now we have thousands, right? And I've actually seen from 2004 when the THA got really involved with really taking the festival as a tourism event, right? I've seen the growth, and coming back after COVID, I think that's an excellent start. Excellent. Excellent.
So therefore, there are good indications. What are your hopes and aspirations going forward now for the Blue Food Festival in particular? Because, you know, it's always about continuous development, and there's always room for, you know, growth even further as we look at some of the new technologies, the happenings out there, and so on. What are your hopes and aspirations?
Right. So there's three aspects, I think. One is that I would like to see us now look at exporting the Blue Food Festival, the concept and the experience. And by that I mean not only going away with the Blue Food into other areas, but also now driving traffic, international visitors coming to this festival. And that calls for a kind of target marketing. That's the first one. The second one would be the area that has already started in terms of the nutritional benefit of things like dasheen, right? It's good for celiac diseases. It's good. It has high potassium content and so on. So that aspect of the research. And lastly, the business side of it, the entrepreneurial side of it. And I think TATCO has a big role, and they're playing it already in terms of producing dasheen flour, similar to all the other things. Because I keep making the point that Blue Food is not just dasheen now. I think it now stands as a kind of iconic expression for what we do with cassava, what we do with breadfruit. And now you're seeing all of those kinds of flour on the market.
All right. One of the other areas I want to touch very quickly on with the Blue Food, we saw the competition happening again, and I had to use this opportunity to send my commendations to the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport. How important is that essence with getting our divisions involved and participating in the concept of Blue Day?
Yeah. The Blue Day is big. I think what it does, it really allows the entire island, the entire community, to really be part of that. Yeah, that dasheen,
yes,
that was really a really beautiful concept. And what we really would like to see is, as we out now, is more divisions do that. Because what you notice now is that the Blue Food thing now becomes almost viral, and the competition now moves from just the festival to this kind of experiential thing in the departments and the divisions and so on. So I hope that expands. I really hope the Blue Day thing expands. And it was good to see people dress up and keep the blue theme and all that. Yeah.
All right. So kudos out there to the entire team that would have been able to pull that off.
Yeah, thanks, by the way, for saying that. There's a great team at festivals. I really want to commend all of them. They really work as a really synchronized group. And thanks to all of them.
Right, indeed. All right, and we also are going on now, you know, Tobago has become a space, you know, before we even head into the other festivals. What's the feeling and the take as we head on in? This is the week in the lineup to Tobago Carnival 2022. Building out as anticipated?
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw you last night, so we were both at the cash show, and it's a nice start. It's a nice start. I think even going back to Tobago Jam, it was an excellent start. For me, Julian, I mean, I go back to the more core issues. Why do we have festivals? Why does we encouraging these festivals? And for me, that is a bigger statement than just people having a great time, right? So for me, the issues of the socio-economic benefits, what it's doing to raise capacity for event providers, what it's doing for the economy in terms of the spin-offs.
Yes.
What's that doing for the communities, making money, the business sector. Those would be the things that I am more interested in. Attracting more international visitors, right? Because the more we have that, then it means your tourism stakes kind of raises. And for me, those are the kind of elements that as a festival management team, we would really want to make sure and ensure our mandate to research and design and plan and coordinate these festivals really meets the best practice standard, and that we're able to produce all the festivals at a level that is professional and something that people want to come to.
Definitely. So as we look towards Carnival happening, as we said, in October here, and then we want to get a feel, what can we look forward to in festivals from beyond the Tobago Carnival 2022?
Yeah, well, the plan is for the next, for the fiscal, we have after Carnival, then we go into Carnival, which would be the February Carnival, the opening of the National Carnival. Then we prepare for jazz. Well, we have actually started to prepare for jazz. We should be able to announce some acts by November, right? And it's going to be bigger and better. And we won't let out all the
Any idea what part of the world some considerations are happening for?
I like that segue, Julian. No, it would be artists that people know. As you know, the research has shown that over 70% of our visitors do come from Trinidad. So that would have a big part to play. Although we are aiming, of course, for the region, North America and Europe and so on. But our evidently, the largest cadre of people do come from Trinidad. So that has to be, of course, in the mix. We have some artists that we didn't get to use in 2019 because of COVID. And so those artists, because they were paid a down payment, they are actually on the cast for next year. Sorry. So we're coming out big and bad next year, right? Really, really solid with the jazz next year. We're also planning, it's on the card table, for a food festival, which would be a culinary festival, food and wine. And we're also on the table about the Tambourine Festival, right, which is a frame drum festival to look at how we can kind of push an indigenous festival to preserve the tambourine.
All right, and then we flow straight on in the lineup as well with the Heritage Festival and so on. Before we wrap this morning's interview, I want you to remind our viewers and listeners again this element and importance of festivals within the Tobago space and even its spin-off and connection within the context of our very own economy here and the tourism product.
Yeah, excellent question again. Because again, we depend heavily on tourism. Festival tourism has to be one of the planks on which we move. And I must say, Julian, one of the things that I've seen is that the collaboration between the agencies, TTAL, TFCL, TPAC, THTI, TADCO, all TEMA, all of this augurs well when you're starting to talk about building a festival economy as part of the tourism offering. And so I'm really, really passionate about that. And I'm glad that we're able, the THA has really seen this as one of the serious planks we can certainly jump off from to really kind of make the tourism thing build.
All right, excellent. And viewers, yes, I heard it there clearly. North America, European side, we're looking for some entertainers and artists that might be coming out of that area. But the confirmation is by November we would have some announcements.
Yeah.
All right. So it gives a clear headway and leadway in terms of time for persons preparing. And you know, that's just a gentle reminder to me. Months ago, even before any schedule was finalized at all, I had friends across in Trinidad and some even abroad who are here now for Carnival indicating, Skeet, I don't know what's happening on those days, but I done booked my ticket already. So certainly you also have the commitment coming here that by November you have a clear indication of those dates as we prepare. I'm heading on into the following this Carnival and then the national celebrations happening early in 2023, going into the return of the jazz experience and the jazz festival celebrations here within the Tobago space. So we want to say thank you to John Arnold, CEO of the Tobago Festivals Commission, for joining us here on set this morning, giving us a little review in relation to the Blue Food Festival and speaking to a number of these upcoming festivals and activities happening here within the Tobago space. All right, so we want to thank you so much, those viewers that are joining us online. Let me give a quick shout out. I see Jennifer Nathan in the mix this morning, Camille Woods Phillips, Jamelia Bino, Bruce Wayne, Gloria Alec this morning, Brenda Campbell in the mix with us, Anderson McCain, Listra Cowie, Scotland, morning. All right, Rosalind Roberts Patrick, Carol Fraser Davidson, Shelley Johnson Edwards, morning to you this morning. Lisa James, QK Melville, and the list goes on, folks. We want to thank each and every one of you so much for the continued love and support. And more importantly, thank you for choosing the Tobago Updates morning show. Those of you joining us via Gael, those joining via M&E TV, those listeners on Smash Radio and Street 91.9 FM, and those of you joining us online, this is your opportunity to share the live.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Finals of the Tobago Stars of Soca is going down this Wednesday, 26th October. Crusoe, Shadow, and Nelson, just to name a few, they cut the road for the soca artists of today. And now, witness the new era of soca stars. The judging panel selected 13 of the top soca artists from Tobago. Now, going head-to-head this Wednesday at Shore Park Cultural Complex. Find out who will be Tobago top soca star, live band, and guest artist performances. All roads lead to the finals at Shore Park. Get your crew ready. Get your flag ready. Support your artists. The Tobago Stars of Soca. Showtime, 8 p.m. Brought to you by Radio Tambourine and M&E TV on behalf of the THA.
You have to remember, Jerome.
What?
It's just the other day I had a bypass surgery.
That I mean you have to bypass me.
You don't know the position I in?
Position? When that was? You know how long me see you in a position?
Saturday, November 5th, Shore Park, Tobago. It's Million Laughs Caribbean Comedy Commerce, the mega laugh festival to end the Tobago Carnival season, featuring Tobago's finest in folklore and musical entertainment, together with some of the Caribbean's top comedians: Larry Joseph, Daryl the Saint Mendoza, Dolores, Alan the Entertainer, Handsome Sun, Mako Media, and more. Get your ticket specials available on Island E-Tickets and various outlets nationwide, or visit the Million Laughs handles for more info. It's Comedy Commerce in Tobago, a wee kind of commerce.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates morning show. This morning we are focused on an educational psychologist, and we're talking about the Blossoming Minds Educational Institute. We've got on set with us this morning Ashley Benjamin. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, Ria, and thank you for having me.
It is really, it's good to have you on the program. Now let's start off by asking the question, educational psychologist, what is your role and function as an educational psychologist within the educational system?
Okay, an educational psychologist is a professional who supports any person that may be having a learning difficulty or differences through assessments, evaluation, and monitoring. So the main focus of an educational psychologist is to identify why a child is performing the way he or she is performing and to create strategies and interventions that would help that child to grow academically.
Right. Do you work with the parent and child? Do you work with the teacher and child?
You work with the parent and the child, but you still try to have accommodation made through the school system. So it may not always be accommodating, but you always ask the parent to have a good relationship with the teacher so that they can share this report with the teacher and see where accommodations can be made.
And how early do you start with children? What is the earliest age you can start with?
Ideally, studies have shown that you can start from the age of 4 years old. I believe that the perfect situation would be from 5.5. Reason being, you would have been involved at 5.5. You are now involved in the conventional educational system for at least 6 months. So you would kind of already develop a routine. So 5.5 all the way up to 25 years.
All right. Now, question, what makes me as a parent decide to take my child to see you? What is it, what are some of the behaviors or the behavioral patterns that I may be noticing with my child that makes me say, I think something is happening here, it's beyond me, I need to see an educational therapist or psychologist?
Okay, so a teacher may say to you, Mom, Dad, I think there's an issue. The child isn't performing the way I think he or she should be performing, and you may need to seek some assistance there. However, you as a parent, you may notice that your child is not performing the way you would want your child to be performing, or sometimes you would find children, a little thing that children do when they have an issue with school, they sometimes not want to go to school, or when there's weekly tests, they're suddenly sick. These are things that you have to look for, or they misbehave during classes. These are things, that you look for, and they would help you identify that, okay, there's something wrong with my child is avoiding school, my child is underperforming, I need the services of an educational psychologist to assist me, or to identify what are the areas that my child is failing at.
Okay, so when you're assessing a child, what are some of the key things that you are looking for as the expert?
Okay, most of these assessments is a standardized assessment, saying that students who are within the same level, they are all supposed to perform at that level. So we look at their grading in terms of each subset on an assessment. However, there are different types of assessments. So if you're doing a psychoeducational assessment, you would incorporate observation, you would talk to parents and teachers, so you would observe behaviors, then you would do academics, you would do cognitive studies. So those are things for an psychoeducational assessment. However, there's an academic achievement assessment that deals strictly with maths and English. So you evaluate this child based on their ability to do maths and English. It is not a test, so the child doesn't have to study. This is just their knowledge that you're assessing. So I'm not saying testing,
you want to see, want to know how much they know.
Yes, exactly, how much they know and where they're at. So sometimes you may do assessments, and you would see that a child is 12 years old, but his or her reading age is 7 years old. So now you have to go back to the level of a 7-year-old and try to build on that to get the child to a 12-year-old level.
Is our educational system equipped to deal with children with learning disabilities? And we hear about dyslexic or teachers who do remedial work. We hear about teachers who, specialize. But is the educational system equipped to deal with children in a classroom who have learning disabilities?
I don't think so. Reason being, most times a class has, let's say, 20 to 25 students.
Right.
20 to 25 students. The studies have shown that one in every 5 students, or 1 in every 5 persons, but 2 in every 3 students have some sort of learning disability. So let's think about that in a classroom. They all have, let's say 10, they all have a specific need. there's no way one teacher in a classroom can assist all those students. So no, the system aren't
equipped
to deal with that, but there are external agencies that a parent can employ and that would help them.
All right, so let's focus a little bit here on Blossoming Minds and what Blossoming Minds offers. And I want to know, because did Blossoming Minds come about before your studies? Did it come about after your studies, and why?
Okay, so to be honest, Blossoming Mind is just 1 week old. It came way after my study. It came after sending applications out and not getting through and deciding this is my time to move faithfully, and so I created Blossoming Mind. It is basically an organization where there are three branches. There are 3 branches. There's the classroom that focuses solely on remedial education. There's the psychological office, and there's also a store that sells only educational stuff, mostly remedial educational stuff. It is a safe place where anyone can come based on your academic abilities. There's no judgment. We employ a multi-sensory approach to education at Blossoming Mind. It's just a comfortable environment.
Right.
Yes. We do the psychological testing. We do only remedial education.
So this is not a private school per se?
No, it's not a private school. So you won't find students being there whole day, every day.
Right.
So it's more of a evening classes, evening school. Yeah, that is what it is, the classroom part of it. However, the office would open all day because we have to do psychological assessments. So it is advised to do assessments during the morning period where you're all fresh, you're not tired after lunch. You know, sometimes you may not be able to get the child's greatest abilities after lunch because they're already tired. So that's why the office is open during the morning period.
Okay, so parents can contact you for information if they see their child or children having problems with learning. The onus is upon the parents to contact you, not necessarily the school or the teacher.
No, it's strictly the parent. The parent would have to contact us, and that is why we're keeping a workshop on November the 19th. It is geared towards teachers and parents, and this is to basically let them know what are the signs of a learning disability or someone who may have a learning difficulty, because you can have difficulties but not classified as a disability. So we would show different strategies at the workshop, different strategies that parents can use, because you may not, even after the psychological assessment, you may not be able to pay someone to do it, but you as a parent, having received this information from the workshop, you can now say, okay, let me help my child by doing this. And sometimes it's simple methods, really simple. You may just need, as a parent, you may just need to communicate with the teacher. Miss, the problem is the child may not be completing their work. Miss, is it possible to have the notes before so I can write the notes down, review it with my daughter or my son, so that by the time he or she is in school, they would be in line with all the other students. Or you may need to do something creative like mind map, or you may need to do addition based on Uno, playing Uno. You do additions with Uno. This child may be a kinesthetic learner, so you may have to physically have plums or marbles, and you show this child, okay, this is how we do sets, this is how we do addition, this is how we do division, and yes. So all these things are going to be taught at the workshop. The workshop is at November the 19th from 9 to 12 p.m.
All right, so viewers on the live are asking very quickly here for the numbers, but we're going to get to the numbers in just a little bit, the contact numbers. What do you do with the findings? You've just assessed a child with the parent. What do you then do with the findings?
So at the end of each assessment, there's a report. So you give the report to the parent. Then you the parent would return, let's say a week after, where you all would communicate the information on the report. So you would list out, because at the end of each report, there's a part that has recommendations. So you would now communicate the recommendations with the parents so that everybody would be on the same page, and the parent has the option to seek external support. They can sometimes communicate with the school or the school teacher, letting them know, my child did a report, these are the findings, how can the child be accommodated? Or for us in this case, we realize that the service may not always be available. And that's the reason why in at Blossoming Minds Educational Institute, we create the environment so that in the event that we would have given reports with recommendations, you can always say, can I enroll my child at Blossoming Mind? Because it's individual attention. So can I enroll my child in Blossoming Mind so that these recommendations can be implemented?
I'm loving this, but I'm seeing here that this should be a holistic approach. You should be working with parents, teachers, child, principal, division of education, everyone. Yes. All right. Very quickly here, this is Ashley Benjamin. Very quickly here, the viewers on the line, on the live want to know how they can contact you.
You can contact me via our Instagram page, Blossoming Mind Educational Institute. You can also contact me via WhatsApp or regular call at 740-0432.
All right, definitely. Sheila Waldron Joseph says, wow, how we need services like this for our Tobago students. Congrats to you. Julia Brown asked for the number again. Yes, we want to get that number again, as well as Rosalind Roberts Patrick. Yes, give us the numbers again.
The number is 740-0432 or Instagram via Blossoming Minds Educational Institute. And we are located at Strawberry Branch Road, Crown Point in Tobago.
So persons can actually visit you there?
Yes, yes. The office is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Saturday.
Monday to Saturday, wow.
Yes.
Okay, no rest. All right, so thank you so much for being on the program with us. And I'm sure we would be happy to have you back on set with us as we continue the discussion on education. I think this is necessary for not only preschool parents or parents of preschoolers, but primary level and the secondary level. It seems as though something gets lost between primary and secondary.
Yes,
yeah?
Definitely.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
A pleasure to have you on the program this morning. We'll certainly look forward to having you back with us. Viewers, lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates morning show, so we invite you, share the live, share the live, share the live.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorns Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorns Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Excel Spa by Haley.
where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Exhale Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. This morning on our program, we are chatting with Liana Alexander, who is one of the board members of the Down Syndrome Family Network. And this morning, viewers, our focus is on the Down Syndrome Awareness Month and their body walk that's coming up. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
It's really nice to have you on our program. It's always good to be able to chat with you. Let's start things off by, this morning by talking about when is Down Syndrome Awareness Day? Because we're talking about the month of activities, but when is Down Syndrome Awareness Day?
Okay, so it's October is Down Syndrome Awareness Month, so it's the entire month
of October.
The month of October. We have the World Down Syndrome Day, which would be March 21st. That's where we have the conference. And in October, we have the Awareness Month, where we have the body walk, where we raise awareness and sensitizations for persons with Down Syndrome and other disabilities.
All right. So we're talking about the body walk here as well, and on our screen we've got the flyer indicating that it's coming up on the 30th of October. And what are we asking for persons to do this time around? What would you like the public to be aware of as it relates to the body walk?
Okay, so let me just clear this up. So normally we have the body walk in October, and Trinidad would have their body walk first, and then we would have ours in Tobago a few days after.
Right.
However, because of all the activities with the carnival, the body walk for Tobago is going to be in November on Thursday the 24th.
Okay.
All right, so let me just speak a bit to the body walk as it is, because we are still promoting it generally for the network. And the body walk is one of the largest inclusive events in the Caribbean. And when we say inclusive, because we have persons with disabilities and, you know, Down syndrome and other disabilities participating in this walk, along with their families, supporters, stakeholders. It's often huge. And registration is online, right? We also have the sale of T-shirts, and this year we have new T-shirts because during the pandemic we would have had it online. No, this is not the new one. Right, so I'm going to be getting them this week for Tobago. Right. And sales start from next Friday, the 4th. So right now you can purchase your T-shirts online. T-shirts are $80 for adults. Children, it's $60. And we have a registration online at Buffer Sports. It's ongoing. Registration is only $100 for participants. So it's a 5K run. And this run starts at 7:30. The walk is from 8 o'clock, and it's a 1K walk. And for Trinidad, well, because I'm talking about Trinidad Sunday coming, it starts at the Nelson Mandela Park, and we go to the the Queen Royal College Park there for the after events. Right? We say QRC. Right, for the after events.
I think most persons will know QRC rather than Queen's Royal College.
QRC, right? And this is all this information is for Trinidad, because right now, currently this week, we are going to continue registrations and sales of T-shirts, and we are looking at 500 participants. The first 500 participants, you have a medal. It's a lovely medal that speaks about our 10th anniversary, and also all proceeds would go to support the Down Syndrome Family Network and the work we are doing, which I'm going to tell you a bit more about as we go on.
All right, so let me ask you here, in terms of when the network started and, you know, the work that you've been doing in Tobago, because I have to say here that you've been working with children with disabilities, not only children with Down syndrome, right? Has there been an awareness? Have more parents contacted you and said, look, I've noticed that my child has been falling behind, you know, I'm not sure what's happening. Can he come to you? Have you seen that happen over the last year or so?
Okay, so yes, and yes. The Down Syndrome Family Network, it was launched in 2012. So this year, we are going to be celebrating 10 years, our 10 years anniversary. In Tobago, the Down Syndrome Family Network would have been very active for the past 8, going on 9 years. And it's a non-profit organization, so I just want to clearly state this, because everything that we do and persons in Tobago can testify of what would have been happening. So we are actively involved. It's one of the organizations that would have been actively involved. So every year, every quarter, you would hear something about the network. And we are into advocacy, awareness and sensitization. So persons are aware and then they become sensitized, so they become a part of, right? Ensuring that inclusion and awareness and support is given to individuals with Down syndrome and other disabilities, and also their families. So persons can also access education, right? Because we have our quarterly, so every 4 months we have our parent workshop. And we also invite stakeholders across the island, and this is done in Trinidad as well. So what is happening in Trinidad often happens in Tobago, right? We also have the World Down Syndrome Conference that is in March, and then we also have our Awareness Month where we have the Body Walk, and it's annual. So you see, we always have things happening to promote. And yes, parents would have contacted the network because we have our parent chat with over 300 parents. And for Tobago, we have at least 30 families with children and individuals, well, I should say young adults with Down syndrome.
All right. Well, I tell you, we're certainly looking forward to that. So is it safe to be wearing these funky socks all throughout October and into November?
Yes, it's safe, because remember, when we have our Rock Your Socks or lots of socks in March to, you know, promote World Down Syndrome Day, we want persons to continue, because it's an awareness. You are sensitized. So now that you know why you have to support and why you want to advocate for persons with Down syndrome and other disabilities, you can wear your socks anytime. Right? And you can also wear it through the month of October, because persons have been calling, can I wear my socks? Yes, you can. You can go to the office, and you can also wear your T-shirts, because we have at least several T-shirts on the island, different colors. And we want persons to wear these, so somebody would ask, you know, tell me about the Body Walk.
And
so
then you can tell them about it.
It's an awareness. You can wear it to the gym. We have schools. I go into the schools and we do the promotion. I go into the Division of Education, and all the staff at the Division of Education and at CAS and at Works, they always support us every year.
I'm happy to hear, really happy to hear that. All right, so it's coming up on November 24th in Tobago.
In Tobago, it's a Thursday.
All right. And you spoke about the parent workshop.
The parent workshop, we did one on the 15th of September at the library. It's often at the library. And we have stakeholders, at least 50 participants throughout, you know, different levels, education, parents, Children's Authority, different persons coming to get the information. And we also have full support from the Division of Education, the Secretary of Education, and the Chief Sec in all these areas.
All right, so it's Miss Leanne, Auntie Leanne, Teacher Leanne. What did they call you?
Miss Alexander, Liana, Auntie all.
Okay. All right, so give us a contact number for you, so parents out there who are looking on can, you know, contact you, get some more information, and really reach out to you.
All right, so our contact information is on Facebook for the Down Syndrome Family Network. We have Instagram as well as WhatsApp, and my contact here is 293-6544. So persons can contact me to get information on purchasing their T-shirts, also registering for the body walk. And we would start sales by Friday, the 4th of November. So I would be going to Trinidad this week to collect the T-shirts for Tobago. And I want to say that stocks are normally limited for Tobago.
So you got to get it
So I want
quickly.
persons to, contact me, get your group, get your teams, and come out for the body walk. It's going to be starting at Tambourine Square. And I would give more information on this, but it's at 1 p.m. and we are going to walk from Tambourine Square to the Esplanade, and there's an event that follows with entertainment. We're going to be having Moko Jumbies, live entertainment as well, and also refreshments and children, participants, and also the schools. All of our schools support the students, come out in their uniform, and we support this walk for inclusion and, inclusiveness in society.
Thank you so much, Auntie Leanne, Teacher Leanne, Miss Leanne Alexander, for being with us this morning. Always a pleasure. And I really think you need to make contact with that lovely lady that we interviewed a little while ago, Miss Benjamin. I think there can be a really nice collaboration.
Yes,
between...
I took her number.
Definitely, definitely.
I did.
That's right. That's how it works in Tobago.
Yes.
All right. So
That's
thank
right.
you so much again for being on the program with us. Viewers, lots more coming up tomorrow and later on in the week, as we've got the Tobago Carnival carded for later on. But GMT is on just after we close things up here. So we want to say goodbye to you. Have a great day. Stay safe on the roads. We see even in the background there's a lot of traffic heading into Scarborough. So if you're getting to work for 8 o'clock, you're late. All right, but be safe. So it's over to Candace and GMT. Have a great day, Tobago. Bye-bye.
When you hear this line, it can only mean one thing. The African heavy hitter is gearing up to grace the shores of beautiful Tobago. Tomac, the Tobago Music Arts and Cultural Festival, has been on everyone's tongue for the past month because the festival is about to host one of the biggest events on the island. So, what is Tomac all about?
The Tomac Festival, as we call it, Tobago Music Arts and Culture Festival, was born out of the pandemic and lockdown as a follow-on to some work that the Pride of Tobago Foundation, Catch the Wave Solutions, we had begun to support young entrepreneurs and the creatives in particular in Tobago. And in conceptualizing the festival, it was really about a passion and a purpose to give back to Tobago. So this Tomac, Tobago Music Arts and Culture, speaks to itself. Tobago first at the forefront.
Tomac will feature one of today's hottest international artists, Grammy Award-winning Nigerian Afrobeat star Burna Boy, aka the African Giant. Organizer Corelli Lyons says this is more than just a concert. She sees the event as an opportunity for Tobago and Nigeria to connect across the diaspora through its common lineage and heritage. Meanwhile, Lyons says getting Burna Boy here was only possible through divine intervention.
It's a coming together of our peoples with unique talents to take on the world and put ourselves on the world stage. His Excellency, the Nigerian High Commissioner, has come out and endorsed Tomac and the festival. And there it is we set about, we said we are going to bring to Tobago one of our Nigerian brothers or sisters, and Burna Boy came about.
Ms. Corelli says it wasn't easy getting Burna Boy here. But through prayer and faith, Tobago will witness history in the making.
My Nigerian brother, sitting out in Nigeria, says to me, my sister, why don't you call Berna's mom? So I'm like, call Berna's mom. He said, yes, I can send you her number. Expressed to her and shared with her what our mission and purpose was in this reconnecting with Africa, reconnecting, recognizing that many of us have roots in Igbo and some of the other Nigerian tribes, and the rest is history.
Organizers of this Tomac event are ensuring no stones are left unturned during this 5-day festival. So it will include
a very important segment that is going to be provided throughout on each day of the event, and that is what we call DNA testing to determine your roots, your ancestral roots.
Tomac, which runs from October 23rd to the 27th, is just one step towards this goal. October 27th is the main event, but the festival will feature a series of events starting with the opening ceremony on Sunday 23rd. All events will be held at Plymouth Recreation Ground.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denise.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. Nicole Thomas walked away with the crown for the inaugural Calypso Monarch for the Tobago Carnival. The Tuco hosted a Calypso Monarch competition at the Shopper Cultural Complex on Saturday. Thomas received a cash prize of $100,000 for her Calypso titled Carnival is We. The song depicted the origins of Carnival and its significance. Sheldon Reed placed second in the competition with his rendition of Fit for a Crown. He walked away with a cash prize of $60,000. The third place went to crowd favorite Giselle Fraser Washington with her Calypso Plenty Plenty Old Talk. She was awarded $45,000. In more Calypso news, Gabe Sande won the inaugural Cornucopia Calypso competition. Cornucopia was hosted by TT Youths Will Rise NGO in Buku on Friday. Gabe Sande placed first out of 10 contestants with her song called A Call to Duty. The second place prize went to Caston Cupid with his song The Saga of Truth. Meanwhile, Michella Williams won third place with her rendition of Warriors. Cornucopia also hosted a mass competition for Kings and Queens along with a junior Kings and Queens. And nationally, 20% of the population in Trinidad were in the dark for up to an hour on Diwali. TNTech confirmed that its plant experienced some problems that led to a massive power outage in various locations from Trinity to Siparia. According to a press release, the outage occurred at approximately 7:40 a.m. when the machines at one of the Commission's independent power producers encountered a problem that caused the system to crash. However, power was restored within an hour and the electricity supply remained stable throughout the day. And as we're dealing with some news, some interesting news has been coming out of England. Yes, I know everybody is very distracted by Carnival. There's so many Carnival events happening in Tobago. But in case you hadn't been able to tune into some of those news lately, we had the British Prime Minister Liz Truss resign on Friday. She stepped down on Friday. And taking her place is Mr. Rishi Sunak, the first East Indian Prime Minister to ever lead the UK. And he's also the youngest in over 200 years. And this morning he met with, of course, King Charles III. And he was invited to form his own government. So yes, we have a new prime minister, and he's one of, like I said, he's one of the youngest, and it's just some very interesting developments. I think there's some photos there that should be coming up on the screen. So I mean, some things, times are changing, and we're seeing someone other than, you know, what we're used to, you know, taking the helm. Of course, there's so much controversy surrounding the leadership of England right now. I mean, we've had the change of, this is the third prime minister within a few months. I mean, yes, and yes, there he is, Mr. Rishi Sunak, of course, meeting with King Charles III and now being able to form his own cabinet. So if you're tuned in later today, we should be seeing from our sources out there in England, you know, what's happening, how he forms this new government going forward. Yes, like I said, if you've been following what's been happening in England, it's very interesting, and I advise you to take a look. So anyways, now we're going to move on to our conversation today, and that is about, first of all, we were talking about Rocky Point, and you know that there's that Marriott Hotel that's being proposed to be constructed. Yes, so right now what's happening is there's a feasibility study being conducted, the environmental certificate of clearance and so on. So all that background work is being conducted in that area for that construction of a hotel. However, there are some people that are not in support of that. And on the line we have with us this morning Mr. Conrad Miller, and he is a founding member of Save Rocky Point. Good morning and welcome to you, sir.
Good morning, Candace. How are you?
I am great. How are you doing?
So far, so good. I'm far away from Tobago. I got to go back.
Oh, yes, you do. I mean, Tobago is definitely the place to be right now, especially with Carnival and all that's happening. But
yes,
I mean,
you got this concert going on.
Certainly. Now, getting into our conversation today, we're speaking about saving Rocky Point. Now, you formed this group called Save Rocky Point, and I just want you to give me an idea of what is this about.
Okay, so we have a point in Tobago. A lot of people just call it Mount Irvine Bay. And in the back of the point is one of the prettiest and maybe the nicest magical beach in Tobago, where they filmed several of Robinson Crusoe, the movie. And there is something for everybody there, and it should be saved for posterity. But it looks like what's going to happen is possibly, maybe not, this corporation wants to build a hotel, a gated community, knock down about 70% of the vegetation on the point, which will kind of make it look like, to me, a chicken without any feathers anymore, instead of a beautiful point of wilderness. And then there's a historical site there, an old fort, and it should be preserved for the people of Tobago to access, enjoy, surf, go to the beach. It's a romantic beach, Back Bay, and the turtles,
Yes.
the leatherbacks and the hawksbills nest there. And Tobago has been called, and Trinidad, the most important nesting ground in the Western Hemisphere for these turtles, because they may be going extinct.
So, I mean, do you think that the authorities are listening to environmentalists and concerned people like yourself who have legitimate concerns about that area as to why we should not have such a massive development?
I can't tell from here. There's a website called Save Rocky Point, and there's also a Rocky Point Foundation, and you can check those websites for what's the latest. I don't know how much the listening is happening, to tell you the truth. But there are voices speaking up now, and this was tried in the 1980s by an Italian corporation, which was stopped, and probably may stop this one too. for the same reasons, environmental reasons. For example, if you knock all the vegetation out, 70% of the vegetation then is going to be run off into the reefs, and the fishermen aren't going to like that, and all the divers that go to Tobago, and the turtle watchers, and then the reef has just given signs of starting to grow again around the Rocky Point, and that development is not going to be good for the reefs or perhaps the surf, because all those trees that are there, some of them are 300 years old, they protect the wave, and that wave, by the way, is one of the perfect waves of the earth, actually one of the wonders of the world. And it would be, to me, it would be a sin against nature to destroy that wave. But the turtles are the ones that are immediately threatened once they start putting the hotel up, because they can't handle lights.
Yes.
And if the lights are lit, they won't come into the beach. They get disoriented, and they travel thousands of miles to come back to the beach, and they're pregnant when they come there. They're not just coming there and hanging out necessarily, and they nest there about 10 times a year. So it's a very important place to save those turtles.
What would you say to those people out there that may believe that even if you use that area for the development, there are other areas where the turtles can nest? How would you react to a statement like that?
That's a good statement. I think it's really in reverse. The turtles are going to come where they're going to come. They come. They have like their homing mechanisms, right? Like geese. Like geese move from the northern hemisphere and they go into the equatorial regions to nest and so on, and winter. Well, turtles do the same thing. Why don't they just move the hotel? That's what the Rocky Point Foundation is trying to do. Help them move to a place where they're not endangering the species, they're not ruining a wave, they're not cutting down the trees, they're not putting up a gated community that may block access for the locals to go to Back Bay, for example. And the wilderness should be protected. You can't replace that. Once that goes, that's it, and that'll be a big hole. It'll be like Barbados, Barbados in the south west coast. You know how they've destroyed that with all those hotels. And Tobago, right there, that's the jewel of the coast, right there in the northwest or southwest, whichever way you want to look at it in the Caribbean.
This whole project has revived that whole idea of there's so much located in that one spot, whether it's historically or environmentally. I mean, there is a lot present there, but there seems to be little research on what has been done. Is there anywhere that we can go that we can know a little bit more about that research, so that whenever projects like this come about, that we don't have this idea that we can just knock everything down and that it's okay, and it's the whole idea that some people think that it's not going to impact anything. Where is our research to know that, or that those studies to know that this place is an important place and it needs to be protected?
One of the organizations that's been working on this actually for 20 years in all of Trinidad and Tobago, especially in Tobago, is Save Our Seas, SOS. You could website. And again, Save Rocky Point has some documents on there. They have the drawings, the artist's renditions of what it might look like for the hotel, which is pretty scary. And I think the best place to look would be the Save Rocky Point website and Save Our Seas.
Is there any way that we can develop that area to have a hotel or some sort of accommodation facility, but at the same time, balance it in a way that it does not impact the environment in such a bad way? Is there any way to balance it?
Frankly, no. That place should be preserved just the way it is. it's a wilderness area, and it should be preserved as a national heritage park. If you start putting up hotels anywhere in there or houses on this very precious land, then it won't be the same. For example, though, look at the Mount Irvine Hotel, which has been there for a long, long time. It's really fitting into the environment. It's just there. Everything's kind of low. You almost don't see it, and you would wish that all the hotels anywhere in the world would do something like that.
Mm.
But this won't do that. It's going to just rape the point, because they want to try to. The Rocky Point Foundation is trying to save it and put up a little shack, with information about the history and the environment and the turtles and so on, and make it and put it like a ranger park. In other words, don't disturb the place too much, but don't commercialize it to the point where you'll destroy the beauty and the things that mankind can do to nature. Is scary, and you know that it's happening all over the world. And Tobago is one of the most beautiful places in the world, and that, to me, that point is the most beautiful point in the coastline, or around the whole coastline of the island, and accessible too.
All right. Now, I mean, as we're getting ready to wrap up our conversation, what is Safe Rocky Point willing to do to, advocate for that hotel to not be developed there?
They are doing everything possible. David Chung is running the show, but he's got help from many different organizations. And that includes historical, environmental, surfing, and whatever they can do, they're pitching in. They're talking to people. They're trying to help with alternative sites. In Tobago, you have the white elephants that have started to be built or never were built, and like Sandals, and the one up in the back by that looks like what's it called? In the back there in Pleasant Prospect, that was abandoned.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, yes, that's it. And it's not, and on the other side of the island, it's not doing so good either by the golf course over there, that big development. But maybe they could take that over. It's already there. It's just waiting to be fixed up. And then, they got a golf course, they got a lot of land, they got the ocean. It's there's so many places they could go.
All right. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Miller, for speaking to us and giving us some information about, why we need to protect sites like Rocky Point. And hopefully in the next few weeks and months, as this situation progresses, we can have some more information. And this is certainly a conversation that we are going to, dig deeper into. All right. So, that's just the end for this segment. But when we come back, we'll be talking to Senior Superintendent Junior Benjamin about some of the things that are happening where crime is concerned on the island, and some safety tips for you for Carnival this coming week. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The finals of the Tobago Stars of Soca is going down this Wednesday, 26th October. Crusoe, Shadow, and Nelson, just to name a few, they cut the road for the soca artists of today. And now, witness the new era of Soca Stars. The judging panel selected 13 of the top soca artists from Tobago. Now, going head-to-head this Wednesday at Shore Park Cultural Complex. Find out who will be Tobago top soca star, live band, and guest artist performances. All roads lead to the finals at Shore Park. Get your crew ready, get your flag ready, support your artists. The Tobago Stars of Soca, showtime 8 p.m. Brought to you by Radio Tambourine and MNE TV on behalf of the THA.
Welcome to the March Parfait Day Spa and Wellness Center, your premier spa experience located at Bonaccord, Tobago. Visit us today for facials, cellulite treatments, body contours, body treatments, pedicures, manicures, and much more. We have gift cards for all occasions and corporate events. Connect with us on Facebook at Lamage Parfait Day Spa or call us 273-7772.
The Cooler event, October 27, 2022. We bring to you live Skinny Fabulous. Also performing live, Viking Ding Dong.
If you know you cannot handle the people rum, when you see the people rum, leave it alone.
Oros Lee Tumum Turning Golf Club, Tobago. Gates open from 1 to 8 p.m. A lineup of DJs to shell on the place. One of Tobago's best duo team, Selector 3D and Hyperkid Snoopy. Tickets available at Jane Monkey Crown Point, Tobago, or Red Rose Boutique, Scarborough. Get your online tickets at islandetickets.com. So tell a friend to bring a friend to the biggest cooler fest for Tobago Carnival.
This event is sponsored by Campari, TTT Major Group, Barefoot, Tobago House of Assembly, Creamery Novelties.
Hush, the cooler event.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October. Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago, and as promised, I am being joined by Acting Senior Superintendent Junior Benjamin. And Flusher, good morning and welcome to you, sir.
Pleasant good morning to you, Candice, and all your listeners as well.
Great. Now, we have to start off this morning talking about an update on the crime situation. Over the weekend, we recorded Tobago's 9th murder. Of course, this was as a result of a shooting that took place earlier this week in the area of Wim. And that was Mr. Omari Sobers. He unfortunately passed away after being in hospital for a few days. What can you tell us about, what updates can you share with us on those shootings that occurred last week?
Right. Well, first of all, let's just look at it overall. As you said, we have about 9 murders thus far. And it's always I think it's kind of good to get the bigger picture. And I say the bigger picture from the standpoint in terms of how we need to view the statistics. When we look at Tobago, last year we had 7 murders. However, in 2020, again, and take in mind last year and 2020, what we call 2 skewed years, because this is where we had the pandemic. But in 2020, we had 10 murders. And also in 2019, we had 10 murders. So I'm just saying we're still around there, and we still haven't reached 10 murders, and we hope we will never have to reach that. And that's 9 murders too much, all right? Yes. However, I think if it's one thing that we can probably take pride in as a police service at this point in time, is that out of the 9 murders so far, we had at least 5 of them that is solved. That gives us over more than 50% of our murders have been solved. And that is very, it is something that should be commended, because it is I think we in the division, in all the divisions, we have the highest detection rate for murders. And again, I want to throw out there that, I mean, we need to stop the murders as much as possible. But the fact that when you cannot stop something, you need to look at the detection rate. And so far, Tobago is a leading division in that regard. When we look at our overall serious crime, we are the top division in terms of the serious crimes that have been decreased. We have a -6% thus far in terms of our serious crime, knowing that last 2 years we also had a pandemic with all different restraints. Those restraints are gone, and we're still able to keep the serious crime down at -6. So I think overall, and when we look at our detection rate, 41%, it is the second highest in all divisions. So I think overall, when you look at the management of the police service here in Tobago, certainly we are thanking God that He has helped us, and also we are looking to see how we can stem the tide. And I want to break down something just for our listeners. When we look at our murders, we recognize that 4 of those murders are revenge murders. 2 of them are domestic violence murders, 2 from robberies and 1 from drugs. So this is not where persons are just going about shooting up the place and killing the place because of drugs. What you recognize is that persons, again, are not exercising that, what I'm using the word here, emotional intelligence, where they're able to control themselves, where they are looking to solve problems. But what happens is that persons are, again, hearing or doing something and a person is retaliating. And therefore, in the retaliation, you find these things are happening. And that is very important for us to look at. So we are looking at all statistics. We are doing what we call evidence-based, intelligence-led policing. So we are looking at the statistics to inform the way that we're doing, and we're not just running helter-skelter. And we believe if we put certain things in place within the community and teach our children, teach our young people and our community how to solve problems, probably we could solve some of those problems.
Now, we had a few shootings happening in the Wim area and so on. What can you tell us about, you know, what has been triggering those shooting incidents? Was it drug related? Was it revenge? Like what's happening there?
And again, quite a number of things probably could probably you know, account for that. However, we are still doing our investigations in those matters. And what we are doing, however, is that we recognize one of the key things when we look at our shootings. We look at the times in which it happened and the areas. Those areas are what we consider at this point in time our hotspot areas. And we are intending, especially with the increased police presence that you're seeing, that we are going to saturate those areas with more police presence. And we're going to be doing it in the hot times, because we recognize that there is a time that these persons normally want to go out and start to become trigger happy. So we are going to be there to at least, again, dissuade them, discourage them, and again, seek to create a greater level of stability and safety within the Tobago public. We want to ensure and to encourage persons. There is no need for us to be alarmed in terms of what is happening. When we look at our shootings, honestly, it is still, we have a decrease in our shootings compared to last year, in the midst of all of that. So again, we are still trying to get it down some more. However, the real issues for us in terms of tower crimes would be that of robberies. We're seeing more robberies this year than we had last year, and therefore we are looking at that carefully. We recognize that most of those robberies are happening in what we call street robberies, open area robberies, and then commercial robberies. So we are hoping, again, to talk to persons to become harder targets. These robberies are happening more in the night time, and I say night from 6 p.m. to about 6 a.m. Sometimes very early in the morning, it's happening late in the night. So we want persons to be aware when you go into cars, especially during the carnival period, be very careful. Some people might want to go out and have a good time, and eventually they want to stray away. We say be very careful when you're doing those things, because again, robberies on the increase. You want to be very careful outside there.
And then as we are in Carnival Week, I should say, you know, my information is that the police force in Tobago is being supplemented by officers from Trinidad to put that extra layer of protection around for our citizens.
And you're hitting the nail right on the head. Exactly. Certainly, we have done our analysis, and our risk analysis clearly shows for us that there is a need for us to at least increase the number of officers. We have looked and we have asked for close to about 150 officers. To this point, I can testify that we have persons from the IATF here, as well as persons from the Guard and Emergency Branch. They are already on the ground. And again, starting from today, we've been meeting with them. And again, they have already started their patrols and different areas to help us out. We are going to also have at least another 45 officers coming. We have persons that are coming also from the air support and the riverine. We are also having persons from the mountain and canine. They would be joining us as well. So we're having them from all different areas. Again, everybody contributing to the whole, because at the end of the day, the police service is all about a synergy, and therefore it's not just Tobago Division. The Commissioner has given that assurance and has shown by his very action that we are in this together. And therefore, you know, the Tobago is Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and therefore we are all working together. All the different arms in Tobago will be coming together as well to augment the strength and to ensure that we have enough officers to deal with the crime situation here.
And certainly, we hope that, you know, the guys don't have to get into too much action. Yes. We're hoping that things remain safe and peaceful.
Certainly.
However, I mean, we're getting into Carnival, like I said, and, you know, there are some things that the public need to be aware of in terms of parking and that kind of thing. So what information do you have to share for us so that our viewers can be aware of how they need to be able to operate during Carnival?
Certainly. And I just probably would want to read some things here. And again, we recognize that, again, the necessary things, authorities, for us to ensure that these things are put in place. I was assured that these things are, we should have all the necessary authorities probably by today and tomorrow. However, once all goes well, these are some of the things that you can look forward to in terms of what will be coming up. In terms of, and we want to start in Crown Point because that is where the Juve start. All right, this takes place it takes effect between 3 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday the 29th, 2022 from Milford Road, Canaan, in the vicinity of Stumpy Bypass to Milford Road, Crown Point. And there's going to be certain vehicular traffic restrictions. And we are saying that parking will be prohibited on the following roads: from Milford Road, Canaan, in the vicinity of Stumpy Bypass to Milford Road, Crown Point. Also, Canaan Feeder Road from Douglas Street to Center Street. Storby Local Road from Milford Road, Crown Point to Killigrew Bay Road. Milford Road Bypass, Crown Point, from Storby Local Road to Pigeon Point Junction. Please note that public parking would be facilitated at the Storby Heritage Park. So persons can go there and park and then go to their respective areas.
And I think there's supposed to be some shuttles and that sort of thing.
That's right, shuttles, that's right. All right. In terms of Roxborough, all right, and the Roxborough that they're supposed to have, the restrictions will take place with effect from 4 p.m. To 12 midnight on Saturday the 29th October 2022. Vehicular traffic would be prohibited on the following roads: the Windward Main Road from Boston Street Junction to Prince Street Junction, Roxborough. Parking would be prohibited along the following roads: from the junction of Boston Street, Windward Road, Argyle, to Prince Street Junction, Roxborough. This would include Lamy Road, Cameron Canal Road, Station Hill Bypass, Police Station Street, and Boston Street. All right, so just for persons to take note even as they go. And finally, in terms of the Scarborough area, we are looking basically at, and this is generally in terms of time, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. All right, and Sunday the 30th October 2022. Vehicular traffic would be prohibited in the following areas: from Carrington Street. And again, I want to probably use the latter part of this where we speak to along the Claude Noel Highway from Wilson Road traffic light intersection to Lambo, and all the way to Signal Hill traffic light. So there will be some restrictions there. And in terms of parking, there will be absolutely no parking at Market Square Car Park, Old FCB Car Park, which is just not too far from here. All right, and also Wilson Road, Scarborough, between Carrington Street and Claude Noel Highway, along Milford Road, Scarborough, and the roundabout in the vicinity of Crusoe Bypass to Shore Park, or Crusoe Bypass Shore Park, and also Claude Noel Highway between Wilson Road and Cemetery Street in Lambeau, Orange Hill Road in the vicinity of Yachts Marketing, and Milford Road, Lambeau, and finally Milford Road, Lambeau, and Village Street, Lambo Junction, towards Lambo Anglican School. There'll be absolutely no parking.
So in that area in Scarborough, where would parking be permitted? Would there be any facilities for parking?
Yes, there will be parking. You have parking that could take place on, I think it's garden side.
Okay, so garden side will still be available?
Yeah, garden side. I think there's a car park there. And also to the top of where I think Tambourine Square, all those places would be available, so persons can probably park there and then come in. What we don't want is that the area itself where the masqueraders will be taking place, we want to lock off those areas. All right, so a person could still feel free to come in and park in those other areas.
Now, and as we're getting ready to, get all those activities started, what are some things that we need to be aware of as members of the public in terms of, just being around?
Well, certainly, again, when we go into these festive season, a lot of things happen. One, I probably want to touch on the fact that persons might be going to these areas and leaving their drinks exposed. You want to be very careful not to do that. You don't know when somebody can put something in your drink, so you want to be very careful.
Yes, because we heard that there was that capture of some ecstasy pills.
That's right. So these things are something that we're seeing coming on the market, and persons are using it. So we want persons to be very, very mindful. All right, and we also recognize that you might find people coming in groups, and again, we use Facebook to meet people, and what they normally do is to lure them away. You come in a group, but you leave to go and meet this person that you have never met, and then next thing you know, the person become missing. Please avoid those things. We are saying if you're go in a group, leave in a group. Let somebody know. If you're going to meet someone, let someone accompany you. If you're going to a vehicle, take note of the vehicle, the registration number, and all the different things. So at least, there must be a level of security even as we go. We want to encourage parents. They might be going to have a good time, but I'm saying if you leave your child home with grandpa or even with some other person, check up on them, making sure that they are okay on a regular basis, so that at least there can be some level of responsibility. And even as you go out there, we want to tell you, please do not drink and drive. We will have our officers out there. We'll be doing a lot of DUI exercises, and therefore we want to encourage persons while you're out there, please be very mindful. We're going to have even breathalyzer technicians in some of these areas. You can go and test your breath before you get into your cars, to avoid you having that consequence of having some charge later on. So we are trying our best to see how we could work with the public, but we want to assure the public that Tobago is ready, and we are here to ensure that Tobago is safe, green, clean and serene, even as we celebrate this time of the Carnival.
Great. Well, that's how we'll have to leave this conversation, and I want to thank you so much for coming on with us, you and your team, actually every week, for giving us an update on what's been happening where the police is concerned. And I'm pretty sure we'll be connecting with you over the weekend,
yes,
just to get those updates.
That's right. Certainly.
All right.
Certainly.
Thank you again, Junior Benjamin. And
yes.
Viewers, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll be speaking with Zane. So the management of Zane, and we see what's going on where that's concerned. All right, so we'll be back right after this break.
Remember life before 2020? Remember 2019 and behind, go back. Okay, remember them times? You forgot it, me too. So much of new norms. We walking around like bandits. We have curfews, shops closing early, you sleep. One long time, in 2019, when they sneeze, what people they say? Yes, you try to sneeze in this room right now.
Saturday, November 5th, Shore Park, Tobago. It's Million Laughs Caribbean Comedy Commerce, the mega laugh festival to end the Tobago Carnival season, featuring Tobago's finest in folklore and musical entertainment, together with some of the Caribbean's top comedians: Larry Joseph, Daryl the Saint Mendoza, Dolores, Alan the Entertainer, Handsome Sun, Mako Media, and more. Get your ticket specials available on Island E-Tickets and various outlets nationwide, or visit the Million Laughs handles for more info. It's Comedy Commerce in Tobago, a wee kind of commerce.
step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
Advertise with Tobago Updates. Call 284-6597. If you have a small or large business, we can get your information in front of the masses. Reach our rapidly growing viewership on Facebook and YouTube. Promote your brand in Trinidad and the Caribbean through M&E TV Now and Gayel. Yes, we can build unique ads for your business. Call now 284-6597 and advertise with us.
If you see or know about a crime, report a crime safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. You can play your part safely and anonymously. Report a crime. Earn a reward. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. Be a hero, champion, fearless citizen. Be a crime stopper safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago, and yes, we are talking about Carnival because it is Carnival week. Carnival is this weekend, folks. If you haven't made your plans yet, well, you might be a little bit late, but I'm pretty sure that some of those bands out there still have some spaces for you, and possibly one of them is Zane. So we are here speaking with Oculence Promotions. We have Mr. Erlen Clark on with us and the lovely Miss Sabrina. Good morning and welcome to you guys.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Good morning, Candice. And listeners.
And Zane is ready for the road.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Very ready.
So, I mean, how are things been going? I mean, this is a week before Carnival. I'm assuming things are very busy right now with you guys.
Yes, it's very, very hectic, but it's manageable. You know, all our costumes are packed and ready to go
for
distribution on Thursday and Friday. So, yeah, we have some little fine things that we need to put in place, but everything else is going fantastic thus far.
Yeah, definitely, and again, known for our experience in regards for the road. It's now not our first rodeo. It's not our first time. So definitely we have a quality product to extend to our clients. And we're just waiting and ready. We have been waiting.
And tell me a little bit about, you know, those people that are coming in from outside the island. Because I know that's quite a bit of your participants.
Yes, it is. So we have a huge buying from the US market, the foreign market, and they're ready, they're waiting, they're coming in from, most persons are coming in from Thursday. So that's why our distribution is Thursday and Friday. So, you know, definitely we are here waiting for them to show them the beautiful island of Tobago.
And we know this is the first Carnival, and there's been quite a few issues that popped up throughout the time. But I mean, we're here at the week before, a few days before Carnival. You know, how are you feeling about the first Tobago Carnival?
I am elated. To be quite honest, I am very, very much elated because this is an opportunity for Tobago to showcase its beauty as an island, as well as the creativity of its people, to bring on the carnival in such a way, or the costumes and the design and the creativity in such a way that, you know, we now can be placed on the carnival map, if you want to call it that way, you know, being the last carnival of the year. So for that, we are really, really very excited to to have this opportunity to showcase something that is fantastic, something that is great, something that we know that could grow into something even bigger and better. And, you know, as we would always say, for us as Zane Carnival, just bring out the ultimate premium Tobago mass experience.
Yes, and again, I want to touch on that. So I want to go deeper with that. I mean, that idea of, you know, this is just the first, but there's so much potential for it to grow and develop and be bigger. And I just want to get from you, like, what are some of those things that you're seeing, you know, as it's getting close to the actual date for Carnival? But what are you seeing for after 2022 for Tobago Carnival?
Definitely growth. We could only get better from here. What we know is definitely a lot of persons want to buy into Tobago Carnival. Persons are coming in this space as spectators for the first year to see what's going on. There are brands also who wants to come into this space as from aspect of sponsorship and otherwise. So we can only get better from here. Definitely will grow. Tweaking has to take place in regards from the planning. Getting definitely persons involved who understands what it takes to create a carnival. So definitely, as I said, we could only get better from here.
And then what are some of those things that you think that needs to change for going forward into 2023?
Early planning.
straight, and I think everybody would agree with you on that one.
Simple, early planning. Information is out. I know right after Tobago Carnival, we should get involved in Trinidad Carnival in regards to marketing for 2023 and look at our marketing our product internationally as well, because as I indicated, a lot of persons are interested in coming in for the carnival as being the last carnival. So more or less we start in the carnival calendar, ending the carnival calendar per se. So it's the mecca of all carnivals is Trinidad. We definitely is the second greatest show on earth.
Yeah, we are going to ensure that we are there as being the second greatest show on earth.
Yeah, I think Tobago could take that.
I think we can. With proper planning, as Erlen would have said, you know, and putting things in place and getting stuff done early, we would be able to now facilitate well and have that information shared among the people that needs to be shared to, and then we can go forward and really, you know, stamp our name, Tobago Carnival, yeah.
Great, and now I mean Zane. Zane is here, we're getting ready. What can we expect from Zane this weekend?
Well, as you know, in regards to myself, a stickler for experience when it comes to events and so on. And Sabrina, a stickler for quality when it comes to designing and product. We have a beautiful product in store for our clients, in store for the road, the experience for the road, from start to finish, from collection of costumes to housekeeping in regards to making sure that you're comfortable when you come on the road to play with us. When you, well, you
experience it.
We hope to see you on the road.
We hope to see you on the road so you can experience it.
Experience it, definitely. We really want to put out a proper product, and we know the quality is above, it's second to none, but it's just the experience. We want to make sure that when you come, you leave, you can sell this product to anywhere, because word of mouth is what sells. When you leave and you go back to the States, to Trinidad, you'll be like, wow, definitely 2023 and beyond, I'm in Tobago with Zane.
And how important it is to just develop that experience and to present that to your clients.
It is very important that we do that, because at the end of the day, customer service is very important. Experience is very important. You could have all the bells and whistles, and then you drop the ball, and then what happens? You know, so at the end of the day, what we, as Erlen said, and I will always reiterate what he says, because we understand what we're getting into and what we are into and what we need to do to ensure that these persons come in and really experience something that is out of this world, you know, astronomical. It must be where when you come, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe Tobago Carnival is given that kind of, and even the price point at what we are given, this experience that we are given, and the price point that we are given it at is like the best in the world right now, you know. So we just want to ensure that, and I again reiterate, ensure that our Zanites is what we call. Oh yeah, our masqueraders. Our Zanites come. They have a fantastic time. They, we ensure that they are pampered. They, they are taken care of. We have chaperone service for our individuals. So it's a whole host of things that we put together. We are just not advertising all of it because we want people to have that element of surprise when they come. Sometimes so when they come, they get that wow factor and they have to, under no circumstances, cannot go back and say when they go to the UK, because we have people from Germany as well coming in, UK, US, Trinidad, and the Caribbean, Guyana as well and stuff. So when those people come, it's like, yes, this is what I want to be a part of. Yes. Zane Carnival.
Right. I mean, and it sounded so exciting. And, tell me about just the reactions that you're getting from those people, especially those that are coming in, even though it's late, even though, things came together at, the timing wasn't perfect. Let me just put it that way. The timing wasn't perfect. And I mean, like I said, we're hoping that changes going forward. I mean, this is the first one, so we could give them a little break. A little break. Yeah. But, we need that to be fixed for the future carnivals. But how are your international clients feeling about coming?
They're pumped and ready. They are pumped and ready. Calls on a daily basis, saying we can't wait. Because what is the beauty about not just the carnival? It's an overall experience, which is Tobago. So they're looking forward to that. We have persons who haven't been back home for years who decided to come in, buying to Zane. They saw the quality, they bought into Zane. They're coming here, they'll be like, Tobago is the place. So they are pumped and ready, and we're waiting for them.
Are there any first-timers?
Yeah, there are a few first-timers who are coming into this space, Yeah. So, again, excitement of coming to this beautiful island, as well as playing with one of the premier bands on the island.
One girl, she said, I don't care if I have to crawl on my hands and knees. I am going to be here and I'm going to play and have a good time because it's my first carnival outside. Well, we're still in the pandemic, but for the past 2 years, she has not played any carnival. So she was like, I am so excited. I don't care. I don't care.
I mean, and that's great to hear. And for a lot of people that the lateness, all of that sort of thing has hampered some people, and they might be ready now to perhaps pay for costumes. Are there any spaces left on Zane for those last minute people?
Yes, we do. Actually, we do have. What we decided to do, because we closed up our registration and we were quite adamant for quality, because we believe in quality all the time. Like, this is it's just what we stand for as well. Correct. Having that quality. So we would have, stopped or ended our registration on the 8th of October. And we decided like a week or so after, oh my God, people are calling, people want to get in, they're last minute, they now got a ticket to come to Tobago, they now got accommodation. So we decided to put on a roadway, something very simple, just a monokini sort of option in 2 different colors, one in silver, one in gold. One in silver and one in blue. And we're going to have those packages available on Friday, the 28th, one of our distribution days, the last day of our distribution. And we are going to have those items or packages available for the females and the males. You can either get a t-shirt and pants, or t-shirt only, pants only, and that is what we have.
Okay, great. And then how can people get in contact with you? So if there are a few last minute people out there who probably now get their loan or now get a little extra money that they can actually spend.
They can spend, right? And they're being paid this week as well.
Being paid this week, it is month end.
I know, right? So you can get us on our Instagram page. You can DM us at our Instagram page at Zane Carnival, on Facebook at Zane Carnival as well, and you can call 797-3247 if you'd like to get packages, or you could come up to Mount Irvin. Distribution is from 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon on Thursday, the 27th of October, and the 28th. From 10 to 3 as well, because we're trying to accommodate for the people who want to go and party. They might want to come and pick up their costumes early. But if any issues or any problems, which we know you'd not have, because we have planned, down to the 9. So you can definitely call 797-3247, and you'll have someone you can speak with to get any information that you need.
Okay, and as we're
Yeah.
getting ready to wrap the conversation, I just want to get from you, what is that one thing that you want to leave with the people of Tobago and all those elsewhere that are watching about why they should, be excited about Tobago Carnival?
Well, what we want to definitely leave, not a last impression, but the best impression. We want persons to go away with this quality of carnival, they see the potential for the growth, definitely would buy into next year and invite their friends. The beauty of Tobago, the experience, the smiles, we just want all the best we can offer. As Tobagonians, we definitely want to make sure that it's portrayed and it's definitely buying to for future.
Yes.
Right.
So I just want to present you with something for the road from Zane Carnival.
This is the packaging.
This is the packaging that we are going to have on the road for to give a distribution for our female masqueraders. So
awesome! Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for having us this morning.
Yes. And of course, Zane is one of just our favorite people to connect with.
Yeah.
I am pleased. I am happy. And yes, we'll be seeing each other out on the road. It's going to be an exciting time. And of course, Tobago Updates has got you covered. So viewers, you want to stay tuned to our pages as well, and you're going to hear and see. I'm excited to see Zane out. I'm actually excited to see all the bands out there, see just the creativity, because as a people, we have so much creativity within us.
Correct.
And it's just going to be wonderful to see that all that on display on the longest route. The longest route is going to be an interesting time.
Yes, it would. Definitely.
So those of you who are not fit, well, you're going to have to get fit by the weekends. All right, folks. Yes, that's just the route for Pretty Mass. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Are you guys ready for that one?
Yeah. When we saw it, we can't wait. We can't wait. We definitely.
Excited.
But it's definitely going to be a good show. If you've seen Zane's costumes, there's so much color, so much vibrancy, and they've drawn your inspiration from Speyside, the water wheel, the reefs, all of that. And of course, it's going to be wonderful when it all comes together with all the other bands, just seeing that color and that vibrancy.
Of course,
and that's what we're looking forward to.
That's it. Yes, Candice. So thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that's how we're going to have to wrap this conversation. Thank you so much for the little package again. And viewers, we'll see you again tomorrow at 7 a.m. So have a wonderful, safe, and productive day. And watch out for the weather today. We have some weather coming in today. So just be careful out there on the roads. All right, bye for now, folks.
Tobago Updates.